I am so excited to be here making homemade candy. I've been wanting to get around to this, but as usual, things get in your way. Okay, so I'm going to start with my ingredients. First of all, I use only carnation milk, cream. So I'm going to use 2 cans. You shake them up real good. I use only Domino sugar. And another thing, one moment. As you probably don't know, candy requires a little salt. So this is the butter that I use. And as you can see, it has um, butter and it has salted. That means there's a little salt in the butter. Okay, so I'm going to take out only what I need. So I have 1 stick to the 2 cans of milk, of cream. Okay, so 1 stick. Sometimes it comes like this, sometimes it comes whole. So either way, it's the same. Okay, now I only use pure vanilla flavor. Everybody makes it different. So if you run across somebody that doesn't use vanilla flavor or they don't use something that I use, don't let it deter you because, like I say, everybody use different ingredients to come up with the same results. Okay, so now I'm gonna open up the 2 cans of milk in the pot, and I'm gonna show you the pot that I'm using. This pot is the only pot I use for my candy. I don't cook anything else in this pot but candy. Okay, and I'm only using 2 cans of cream today because normally when I make candy for um, somebody or if somebody's ordering candy, I normally do 4 cans, sometimes 3, depending on how much I'm making. Okay, so these 2 cans, this is it. So now I'm gonna turn, my stove is on 10. And I don't know, um, I guess that's a medium. Okay, so I'm gonna shake up this vanilla flavor. This gives it such a good taste. And like I say, everybody do things a little different. I'm gonna use I'm gonna use this tablespoonful because I don't normally measure. I just sometimes pour. Okay, so I'll put my top back on. Okay, so, and we're gonna have a good conversation while this candy is cooking. I also have a timer. Normally my timer I set for, I'm gonna say 45, but most of the time it doesn't take that long. But I'm gonna show you all the tricks of how you know when the candy is ready. And so I put 1/2 of the butter. I'm gonna put this other stick in. Remember, only 2 of these if you get the small butter. But if you get the large butter, then you just use 1 stick. Okay. Now, I did let you know that I use only the Domino's sugar. Let me get this. Because I don't want to waste sugar everywhere. I just hate that I can't show you how I really want to show you everything. But, as I said, I'm just starting out, so I'm going to get it together sooner or later. Okay. So, this is 2 cups of sugar. Okay, so for every can of milk, you use 1.5 cups of sugar. So that means if you're using 2 cups, then that means you're using 3 cups of sugar. Okay, so that's two. And then I'm gonna do the other one to make it three. And that's one. So that makes it three. Okay, now I'm gonna put this back up. I just wanted to show you all of the ingredients so you know what you need. 2 cans of cream, 1.5 cups of sugar. I don't use I only use white sugar. I only use Domino's. Everybody cook candy different. So if this is how you would like it once it's done, you can use this recipe. If not, there are a lot of recipes out there, but I want you to taste this recipe. I want you to see this recipe. Okay, so I'm putting everything on the side. Now I have some pecans. Now I'm going to use a cup of pecans. It varies. Sometimes I use more, sometimes less, but it just depends on uh, how you want to do it that particular day. Okay, so I put the pecans on a cutting board so I can cut them up a little bit. You don't want them too big. Okay. And like I said, we're going to have some good conversation while this candy is cooking because you have to stir. You do have to stir this candy the whole while that you're making it, because if you don't, it'll stick to the pot. And once it sticks to the pot, it'll be tasting and smelling burned. We don't want to do that. And I'm going to show you just when to take it out. I don't use a thermometer. Not at all. I don't use a thermometer. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see, and we're going to be talking. Have a little dialogue going here. Let me see. Now, is it too dark? It's not too dark, but I'm going to have to figure out a way to lighten this up. Okay. Okay, so now I'm stirring up the candy. It is on 10, and my stove is electric. So I'm just going to stir it until it's almost time to take out, and I'm going to show you what to look for when it's time to come out. Now, while we are stirring up this candy, let's have a little conversation. I've been noticing a lot lately how raising our children has changed. We have so many parents that they just let the kids do anything, talk to them any kind of way. If you don't nip that in the bud from the very beginning, you're going to have problems. I can remember when we were coming up, I was coming up. Like I said, my mom had 7 of us. She didn't play. She only had to tell us one time, when I'm talking to adults, don't you say a word. If I have company, you better go outside and play. Find yourself something to do. And that only had to be said once. Nowadays, parents are friends with their children. You don't have to be fussing all the time, but you got to know when you say something. My mom's facial expression let me know exactly what she meant. And the world is coming so disrupted with the way kids interact with their parents, the things they say, or what they will wear, what they won't wear, what they'll eat, what they won't eat, and the things that they do. And parents sometimes go along with it. Now, I don't want none of y'all to be mad at me for saying this, but I'm 73. I see it. If you don't give them something valuable in life, not monetary, valuable in common sense, getting along with other people, then they won't have anything if you don't give it to them. If we don't give it to them. I say that to say this. With my mom raising six girls and one boy, she was alone. We didn't have nobody in the household but her. But I tell you what, a neighbor could tell me something or one of my sisters something, and guess what? You know, is hell to pay if my mom had to be told what we did or what we said. It wasn't a matter of did you do this? If Miss Jones said we did it, we did it. My mom didn't ask questions. These, and I don't understand. You let these kids, they run around at night, they all in the street. Know where your babies are. I don't have any little kids, but I have grandkids and great grandkids. And I know you remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, when the lights are on, I'm inside. If I went anywhere, I was with one of my sisters, if not all of them. We went to bed, and if she had to go to work, and she said, "Do not go out the house. Don't open the door." That's exactly what happened. We didn't go out the house, and we didn't open the door because I know she meant business. And if somebody told her we went out the house, here come the side effect. And with nowadays children feeling like, oh, they can call child protection and all of this. Yeah, you can call child protection. But you know what? Child protection is not going to be there later on in life when your children become adults. We have to get them now. We have to save them now. Later will be too late. I think that's some of the worst things that could have ever happened when parents couldn't discipline their kids. They can't discipline their kids. I see where young girls fighting with the mama, cussing the mama out, and all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't even know what that would look like or sound like at my mama's house. I'm going to say my mama. Because you know what? You will never forget it if you ever talk back in the days that I came up to my mother. You're not going to do that. You know you're not going to do it. You might get mad, but I bet you won't say nothing. I bet you that you won't smack them lips. You won't turn that head. I bet you that. And if she said be inside, I bet you're going to be inside. I say that to say this. My mom taught us how to be young women. Even though we didn't have a dad, but I grew up, I listened. That common sense is what she kept telling us. Have some common sense. I see people, these young girls, that they go look for a job any kind of way. You don't have to be in a suit, but be decent. All you have to do is wear a nice blouse, even if you wear jeans. But you don't wear stuff with all of this out and that out, because people judge that. They say that you don't judge the book by the cover. Believe it, they do. And I'm going to tell you a story about that. I remember one time I was looking for a job. I guess y'all say I'm always looking for a job. And I went to this hotel, and they had a long line. And I had on my one suit that I wear for every interview. And when I got to the front of the line, the lady at the line said, we don't have any more clerical positions. Now, I wasn't looking for no clerical position. I was looking for a job. But that registered in my head because of how I looked and presented myself. She assumed that I was looking for a clerical position. That's when I realized what my mama used to always say. People do judge the book by the cover. Don't ever think they don't. Now I'm this can is boiling up a little bit, so I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try to fix it where you can see it, but it's beautiful. It's boiling. You see how it's boiling up? You can't see it too good. It's boiling to the top. Now, in a little while, it's not gonna be boiling. It's gonna boil down some, and it's just gonna be thick. Now, I'm not putting my pecans in until later. Almost to the end. My timer is on, and it's going around pretty good. Okay, so getting back to what I was talking about, you know, you have to try to motivate them into wanting to do better. Motivate them into knowing that, you see, when you go to school, let me say this. When those kids go to school and act a fool with those teachers, they ain't hurt nobody but themselves. I can remember being in school. I wasn't a A student, I'm going to tell you that. But I had that personality because I tried. And because the teachers could see I was trying. They helped me. They knew that I could still potentially grow up to be somebody, even though I struggled a little bit. And this is what you have to teach your children. The teachers are human beings. Now listen at this. If you had a job and every time you went to work, say you was the boss, and you had employees acting up, doing crazy stuff, not, just acting like you don't matter. You think you're gonna put in for a raise for them? No, you won't. Even though they're teachers, but they're human beings. They go home to their own children and stuff that they have to do. And when they call you and say, Johnny is cutting up in class, you know what my mama used to say? If you make me go to school because you cutting up and can't shut your mouth, you know what's gonna happen. Here come the side effect. Okay, so my problem was I talked too much. And another thing she said, if you failing in a class, I can get you a tutor. But if you can't keep your mouth closed, we got a problem. You can't come home with a whatever the grades they give for bad grades for bad behavior. Back in the days, it was a U. Now it's something else. I couldn't come home and say, "Oh well, I failed behavior." How you fail behavior? Like she said, all you got to do is sit down and shut your mouth. And she was right. And most of the times that I got my butt whipped, believe one thing, it was justified. I could say that now. Because at that time, I used to think, oh, my mama mean. Because we couldn't go too many places. We couldn't run no streets. See how these little girls be all in the mall by themselves with them tight clothes on? Y'all don't get mad at me because I'm telling the truth. It's nowhere in the world we could do that. If we was going to go to the mall, we was with my mama. And we come back home and we was just as content. We done went to the mall or we went to Burger King or whatever. We couldn't run the street out there, and God forbid you got any skin showing, which we didn't know nothing about that in them days. You gotta teach them some values. Teach them how to act, and then how to be respectful. Because you have kids that would tell a teacher stuff that an adult wouldn't tell the teacher. Because some parents let their kids do that. Don't let them do that. Because that's not hurting the teacher, it's hurting your child. Because you know what? When and if that child come out of high school, life don't owe them nothing, and people in the street don't care. Believe what I'm telling you. And I'm only saying this because I love my black kids. I love white, I love all kids. But so many of them are lost because they haven't got that training. They haven't got that sit down and my mama gonna talk to me training. A lot of them don't get that. Why? Make time for your kids. Do things with them. You want to go somewhere? Hey, let's go to the mall. Let's go to the store. Let's go to the movie. We can go to. My mom used to take us to the park. And we would sit on the benches and watch the water and do all kind of stuff. That was our outing. When we went places, my mom had a packed lunch. I'll never forget Mardi Gras. My mama packed all our food. We weren't spending no money at Mardi Gras. We didn't have nothing to spend. And we had our own sandwiches, our little drink, soft drink or whatever she was bringing for us. And we was happy. We went home. We was just as happy as a lamb. These are the things your kids need to look forward to. Don't let them be out here doing all kind of stuff and fussing and cussing, and they cuss in front of adults. And long time ago, if somebody passed our house and cuss, oh ma'am, I'm sorry to my mama. Because in them days, anybody could whip you behind and send you home to your mama because everybody knew your mama. Nowadays, if you hit somebody's child or you say something to somebody's child, the mama coming. But it doesn't help because this is what you're teaching them. Do what you want. Say what you want. Be disrespectful. But God sits high, baby. And my mom used to always say, I don't worry about what other people's children are doing. I don't talk about this one pregnant, that one pregnant. Because I got kids. I don't know what they're doing. Which she do. But that's how she felt about it. She wasn't going to downgrade nobody's child. If anything, she would tell them something to help them. But in these days, you can't do that. You can't tell a child anything. Because you will be in a world of trouble. Now this candy is boiling down a little bit. So it's getting down to the end. And I'm going to show you what to look for when you know it's time to take it out. Because it's going to like on the sides, it's going to be like a little flaky, like a little dry. Then you know that it's almost, ready to come out. Now I just poured the pecans in, and I'm at 30 minutes. And I'm taking my time. I'm stirring the candy because I want you to be able to really get an idea. And make sure you stir it, because if you don't stir it, then it's gonna clunk up or it's gonna hit the bottom of the pot. You won't be able to get that flavor. It won't have the flavor that it needs. And I remember, because like I say, I don't know if I remember telling you guys, we grew up in the projects. I grew up in Desire Project. My mom had 6 girls, 1 boy. I had a sister that worked for IBM. She was driving BMWs when black folks weren't even driving BMWs. I've worked several jobs. Like I said, I worked for Federal Reserve. And so on and so forth. I've done hair, worked on my own. And I could tell my mom was proud of us. Because even though she lived in a project, when we all would come on a Saturday or Sunday, she'd tell her friends, oh, when my daughters come, it look like I got a car lot. This is true. And my sisters will verify this. I knew she was proud of us. That let me know she knew she had done her job. We all graduated high school. Now, everybody don't graduate, but they got a whole lot of things you could do. You can go back and get your GED. There are jobs out here that will help you. It's a lot of things you could do. So I felt good knowing my mom was proud, because people think, oh, when you don't have a dad in the house, this, that, and the other, and on and on and on. That didn't matter, because my mama was a daddy and the mama. My mama was the daddy and the mama. So you know what I knew? They don't make a lot of women like that now. There's still some, but not like when my mom was raising us. My mom was a strong black woman. And I know I get a lot of my ways from my mom, because I'll let things bother me, but not to the point where it's going to take me down. I'm going to make it work. Whatever got to be done, I'm going to do it. If I got something to do, it's going to be done. And even at 73, I could still work. I'm still working. full time. Come home, clean up. Well, I thank God I don't have any little kids, but I don't have but 2 kids. I don't have but 2 kids, but I have grandbabies. I have great grandbabies. I have babies that I just love them to death. And without a grandma, all children deserve to have grandparents. Don't dislike the man's family to the point where the children don't get a chance to know what it's like to have a grandparent or some grandparents. Because with my grandkids, I like to take them places. I like to talk to them. They get in the bed with me and I can't move because the oldest one is bigger than me. And they tell me about how much they love me. Don't stop a child from having a childhood with having a grandparents. Another thing, when you mad with the daddy, don't let the children suffer for that. The daddy might not be nothing to you, but they gotta love. You gotta teach them how to love their daddy. God's gonna take care if he's not doing what he need to do. God gonna handle that. Believe me when I say that. Don't let the children suffer because the daddy and you and the daddy don't get along. That's life. I moved on. And God sent me another man when I lost the first one. God takes care of everything. You don't have to try to do it all. Let God do it. And God say, let me do it. He'll take care of it. It's just like the rotten fruit fall off the tree. Because it's time. It was time for the rotten fruit to fall off the tree. If you understand what I'm saying. There's whatever is for you out there, God's going to give it to you. If you're a daddy and you're not taking care of your kids with the best of your ability means if you got a minimum wage job, you still can contribute to your children. That's the best of your ability because you can't give them what you don't have. If you don't have no job, you can go out there and get a job. You can pick up cans. You could mow the lawn. There's a lot of stuff you could do. And so that's why I like to instill upon men. God is not going to bless you if you don't help take care of your kids because they didn't ask to come here. Those same kids will grow up to be somebody that will shock your socks off. Then what you going to say? And you know the first thing the children say? You ain't did nothing for me. Don't let that be your child's voice. Don't let it be the voice of your child. He never did nothing for me. What you come around here for? And that happens. That happens. God will, like I said, make you that child's footstool. Don't ever let a child feel like you was nothing to him. Like I say, minimum wages is better than no wages. If you're making minimum wages and you show that woman that you trying, if it's no more than giving her some of that check, half of that check, buying socks, let me come take them to the park. It don't hush them to take them to the park and feed the ducks. They got bread you can throw and feed the ducks. Have fun with your children. Do you know the blessing that is to have children? It's a blessing beyond blessings. I know when I leave here, life don't owe me nothing. As far as being a parent, I was that parent. I'm still that parent. And you know what? When your kids get 18, that don't make them grown. Because one thing I do know, and my mama used to say, if my child have a problem, no matter how old, I got a problem. And I didn't know what that meant then. I know now. If my daughter call me and tell me, Mama, this, that, or the other, or I had a wreck, my heart sinks. I got a problem now. You would think that I was the one that had the wreck. Don't ever think your children are grown. It's over. It is not over until God says it's over. I'm going to finish up on this candy because it's getting to the point where it's getting a little thick. So I want to see, can I show it to you? You see how thick that is? You can't see it good, but I'm gonna get my YouTube together a little bit more. Right now, I'm in the beginning stages, but I did enjoy my conversation with you guys today. And I'm hoping that we'll have many, many more conversations about life and about our babies because they need us. They need us. And if we don't do for them, nobody will. Nobody will. The days of Big Mama are gone. Mama, they need mama, daddy, sister, brother, auntie. Our babies need all of us. Let's if we haven't started already, let's start being the mama that we're supposed to be. Love them and hug them. My grandkids hear me tell them all the time, I love you. I love you. And sometimes one of them asks me, Mama, you love me? I say, yeah, I love you. It's the best sound in the world is to tell a baby you love them. They know what that means. Be good, y'all. And now we're going to finish up this candy. And our conversation will finish on my next meal. So hold on a minute. The candy getting ready to come out the thing almost. So we're going to make this over something else I forgot to tell you with this candy now. I didn't have the spray that I normally put on my foil. I had ran out of the spray and I didn't know. So this is you can use this instead. Take me some butter and I sprayed it out on my sheet so that the candy will not stick to the sheet, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. Now I have done that. Now I'm still stirring the candy. Wait a minute. So what I'm doing now is moving the candy off the eye because it's hot and I'm still stirring. I'm still stirring. Still stirring. I'm still stirring. So I'm still stirring. I got it on low because it's gonna be almost time to take it out. So I do have it on low, but I'll keep stirring. And a lot of times I make this candy for people that I know. I don't normally make it for strangers. I don't sell it to people that I don't know. And it can be mailed with the with your if you pay for postage, the shipping. But when it gets to the point where it's gonna get hard, I'm gonna let you see it and let you see just how beautiful and brown it is. Yes, it is. It's so pretty. I've been waiting to get to this part of my life because I wanted to make some candy for you guys because everybody don't like to show you how they make their candy. I don't have a problem with that because it's a lot of other stuff I'm gonna cook. Now on the side of the pan, on the side of this, it's getting kind of scaly on the side, not down at the bottom. And that lets you know that it's almost ready. And I hope you guys enjoyed my live today. If you have any problems, any questions, any comments, feel free. As long as they're good comments. I mean, you can say what you want. I don't care. Because like I said, I'm 73. I've been here a long time in my life. I have been here a long time. Now let me get a towel so I can put this back out on. And I'm gonna have to get me a ring light to make my so I be able to see better, you know. Okay, let me see. Now, you're not gonna be able to see me pour this out, but I want you to see once the candy get where it get done, you'll be able to see it. And this is just a sample because I don't normally make them this big of how beautiful they look. I love cooking, and let me know if there's something out there that you guys want me to cook and to show you how it's done. Oh, this candy looks so good. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to cook it for you. I love greens, and for the holidays, I'm gonna make you guys some gumbo because I want you to know how to make gumbo if you don't. Because there's a lot of people that don't know how to make gumbo. So I don't mind showing you. I'm from New Orleans, girl. I can make that gumbo, believe that. I can make that gumbo. Yes, sir, Bob. Now I know the candy is gonna be hard because it's scaly. When I say scaly, it's like it's not smooth in the top. I'm gonna let you see this candy. And baby, y'all gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I put the pot in the water in this. Now I don't normally make it this big, but I'm making it this big today. Okay? Okay. Now look at our praline. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Look at, can you see it? Look how big it is. I promise you I'm gonna get this better. I'm gonna get the candy better, but I want you to see when I break it uh, how nice it breaks off. Now that took 30 minutes. I still got time on it. So it took me 13 minutes to make that candy. And I'm not gonna get off until I can break one and you guys can see exactly the consistency of the candy. And you notice I stirred the pot the whole time that the candy was on. Yes, I did. So I'm gonna give it a little time to um I'm gonna give it a little time to harden so that we can get a chance to see and get a little piece. We're gonna get us a little piece. And I want you to know how happy I am to be a part of you guys' life. Like I said, if you have any comments, please subscribe, share, and join my channel. I'd be more than happy to be your friend, and I want you to be my friend. So, with that being said, let's check on the candy. Okie dokie. Look, you guys, look at the candy. nice and hard. Look at all the pecans in it. That is, and it's even breaking off, so you know it's hard. With that being said, until next time, I love you.